Have you ever felt like you were watching someone else's life unfold like a movie while yours was stuck on a still frame? Have you ever felt left behind? Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason, and you can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and Amazon. A Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope that's what this podcast will do. If you'd like to be a part of this podcast, as a guest or a contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Welcome to episode 61, Left Behind. Now, when we say left behind, it's not just about a physical location or achievements. It's about a deep-seated feeling that we're falling short, that we're missing out on life's grand adventure. It's a sense of isolation, a fear of being forgotten. You remember that friend in high school who always dreamed about being an artist? Well, you know what? We all thought it was a pipe dream. They pursued it with unwavering passion. They moved to the big city, had their work featured in galleries, and they even landed a book deal. And then there was the rest of us, still in the same small town, doing the same old thing. It was hard not to feel a pang of jealousy, a sense of being left behind. Here's a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. Comparison is the thief of joy. Now, I know this quote is cliche, but when we think about it, it's really true. Comparing ourselves to others can lead to feelings of inadequacy and resentment. It's important to remember that everyone's journey is unique. There's no one-size-fits-all path to success. Okay? FOMO. How do we overcome the fear of FOMO, the fear of missing out? FOMO is a real thing. It's that nagging feeling when you're missing out on something better. But it's important to remember that life is not a competition. It's about finding joy in our own experiences. Let me tell you a story about Terry, the solo traveler. Terry once took a solo trip to Southeast Asia. Now, she was nervous at first, as we all would if it's the first time you're ever doing a solo trip. But what happened is it turned out to be one of the most rewarding experiences of her life. She met amazing people. She tried new things and discovered a part of herself she never knew existed. She was reminded that sometimes the best adventures are the ones you take alone. Now, life is a journey. It's not a destination. It's about the experiences we have along the way, not just where we end up. So instead of focusing on things we're missing out on, let's focus on the things we're gaining. Here's another quote, this one by Lao Tzu. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I know you've heard that one. Small steps can lead to big achievements. Don't get overwhelmed by the idea of reaching your destination. Just focus on taking the next step. It's like that analogy about, you don't just eat the horse or you think about eating the horse. You start at the tail and you work piece by piece by piece. Or how do you build a brick wall? You make each brick that you lay down the best brick ever laid in the history of mankind. And then you lay down the next one the same way, and so on and so on and so on, right? But when we feel left behind, it can be easy to lose sight of our purpose. But finding meaning in our lives can help us overcome feelings of isolation and despair. Let me tell you a story about this time I volunteered at an animal shelter. It was a few years ago. It was a small thing, but it gave me a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Seeing the joy I brought to those animals really helped me feel less alone. The love that I gave, I got back. And it really made a difference. Feeling left behind is a common experience, but it doesn't have to define us. We can take steps to overcome these feelings and create a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. So, before we end our little get together here, let me leave you with an actionable takeaway task. How about a vision board? A vision board is a representation of our goals and dreams. It can help us stay focused and motivated. Take some time to create a vision board that reflects your aspirations. It could be anything. You want to get a new car, or you want to buy a house, or you've always thought about traveling to Europe. Whatever it is, get take some time and invest in putting together this vision board. It's, some people think it's corny, some people think it's tacky and whack. You're just taking the moments to superimpose onto you. These are the things that I want. And I'm going to do everything I can, both mentally and physically and spiritually, to get them. I'm going to look at them. I'm going to study them. I'm going to be enveloped in them and engrossed in them. When I started my journey of fighting cancer, the obsession of me being healthy was everything. And there was nothing and no one that was going to stop me from taking care of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. I became all encompassed and all engrossed in it. And it really did truly help me through it. Now, the feeling of being left behind is a natural part of life. But it's important to remember that we are all on our own unique journeys. By focusing on our own experiences, finding meaning in our lives, and taking action, we can overcome these feelings and create a life that is truly fulfilling. Remember, folks, you are not alone. You're not. We all experience feelings of doubt and insecurity. But with the right mindset and the right tools, we can overcome these challenges and create a life that is truly extraordinary. Don't live a life of FOMO. Live a life of experiences. Take action. Overcome. And the way we can do it is taking that first step. I know it can be hard. I know it can be challenging. I've been there. I've been in situations where I see people having a good time and having fun and being terrified to go and enjoy it for whatever reason it might be. It might be because you think if you engage that somebody might see something you do and make fun of you for whatever past experiences or things you're holding on to. It can be a number of things. Don't let your fear have you miss out on some of the truly glorious gifts that are out there. And they're out there for all of us. No matter what you think about yourself or your situation, they are out there. And all we have to do is take action. There are many times and many experiences that I've had that I've missed out because I've allowed that fear to grab hold of me. So which one is more important? The fear of missing out or the fear of doing? Which one are you going to let win? I'm not going to let either one of them win. I want to take my life and put action to it. And when there's times to do things or take action, I'm going to take it. Remember, you are not alone. You're not the only one going through it. There are many people like you going through the same thing. You can overcome it. And you can really create a life of your dreams. And with that being said, this has been the Catalyst Podcast, raw, real, and unedited. My name is Jason. You can find Catalyst at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can hear the podcast created through Spreaker on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and Amazon. A Catalyst has the power to create change, and we hope this podcast will do. Now, if you'd like to be a part of this podcast as a guest or a contributor, you can email us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening to episode 61, which is Left Behind. We'll see you next time for episode 62. Go be great.